What's the difference between you and thou? Is there a difference? Yes, there is a difference, and it boggles my mind that more people don't know this because it's fascinating. It's super important and helpful, but so few people know this that I've actually had to teach my teachers this in the past. I'm gonna put on my grammar diva hat for a second, so don't freak out. If you speak a foreign language like French, for example, you know that there's a formal version of the pronoun you that you use with strangers, elders, when you're being polite or respectful. And then there's also an informal version of the pronoun you that you use with family members, close friends, lovers. In English, we don't have this, but we used to. And counterintuitively, you was the formal version of the word. Thou was the informal version. Okay, taking off the hat now. You was the default. It was the more polite, respectful, public-facing word, but it could also connote distance at times. Thou, on the other hand, was considered the more emotional word because it kind of had two broad categories of usage. You could either use it to express love and intimacy and affection with your close friends and loved ones, or you could use it to insult someone because you would also use the word thou to speak to someone who was of a lower social class than you. So if you purposefully chose to use the word thou with someone who was of your class or higher and you weren't especially close to them, oh, them's fighting words. You are deliberately insulting that person. Whether a character chooses to use you or thou with someone is going to tell you so much about the relationship of those characters at that moment in the play. All of this is super nuanced, and there are so many brilliant examples of how Shakespeare uses you and thou throughout his plays that I can't get into them all right now, but I will give you one of my favorites. In Much Ado About Nothing, Benedick and Beatrice have a tenuous relationship, to say the least. After Benedick overhears that Beatrice has feelings for him, he tries to initiate using the informal thou with her. He tries to use it romantically, intimately, to get closer with her. However, she never reciprocates. She always uses the formal you with him to kind of keep him at arm's length. The only time that Beatrice ever addresses Benedick as thou is in her soliloquy, "What fire is in mine ears?" And why? Because he's not there to hear her. Doesn't that just tell you so much about her character? Beatrice is brilliant and beautiful and funny, but she is guarded. She uses her humor as a defense mechanism. She wants to love Benedick. She wants to open herself up to that again, but she's afraid of being hurt. He hurt her the last time, and she still hasn't gotten over it. Isn't that so human, so relatable? I mean, it's part of why we love her so much, but you might have missed the beautiful nuance of that moment if you didn't know the difference between you and thou. I'm going to be posting several videos over the coming days with examples of how Shakespeare uses you and thou throughout his plays, and trust me, you are going to want to dive into